AskReddit by KK653. What started as a joke but people take it way too seriously today? NyQuil chicken. There was a guy who made a video on TikTok jokingly saying that he had a great recipe for cooking chicken in NyQuil. A few people made response videos, but everyone who saw it knew it was a joke. Then mainstream media picked it up and blew it out of proportion. They made it sound like it was an actual trend for people to be cooking NyQuil. There are already plenty of problems on TikTok, we don't need to invent new ones to complain about. I legit remember us making NyQuil drink jokes and NyQuil chicken jokes in high school 20 fucking years ago. I'm just glad the youth can still bamboozle the media. That science can't explain why bumblebees can fly. It literally started as a joke among scientists. Now some anti-scientific morons use it as an argument against science. Source: https://de.wikipedia.org/wiki/hummel-paradoxon. Edit: English version: https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/bumblebee-misconception_about_flight. I worked with a guy who literally used this as an argument for God against science. Which, regardless of your beliefs, is absolutely silly because I showed him multiple videos and articles telling how bees fly and he kept saying, yes, but we can't explain it. Bitch, they just did. 10 times. Listen. Scientology. Come on. He's a Sci-Fi writer and now a bunch of people believe they have mendichlorians or some shit in their blood making them do bad things. Wow. Not just a science fiction writer, but one who took a bet that he could start his own religion. That vibrating anal beads chest thing. Okay, back up the what? The Bechdel test. Not that the issue it raises shouldn't be taken seriously, but people totally misunderstand that it was only supposed to highlight how absurd it is that so many movies fail to reach the very low bar it sets. I've seen filmmakers brag at comic cons and the like now about how their movies pass the Bechdel test and it's seen as a female character representation stamp of approval when it really just means it reached a satirically low bare minimum threshold originally created by a cartoonist. Exactly. Even Alison Bechdel herself has acknowledged that her own favorite movie fails the Bechdel test. It's not a commentary on quality but instead how we're socialized to think of women only in relation to men. Celebrities becoming politicians. After all this, I never want to be told I need experience for a job ever again. Truck nuts. They were a joke at first. Now they are a point of pride on emotional support trucks. Deleted. Dogecoin. I remember a Twitter post where someone asked the Dogecoin creator whether they thought about the environmental impact when creating this coin. He replied saying he took 2 hours to create the cryptocurrency and did not consider anything. Those masculinity types, like Alpha, Omega and Sigma male, etc. Some people take this too seriously. People thought that's how wolves operate and just projected it onto humans. Turns out that wolves also don't do that. The schools having litter boxes in bathrooms thing. The very idea that a litter box could be placed in a classroom with dozens of kids who all have cell phones and are social media addicts and there's not a single photo or video of it is laughably absurd. I'm not convinced Donald Trump really thought he'd be president when he first started his campaign. He made a hell of a lot more money than he expected though. Schrodinger's cat was formulated as a thought experiment to illustrate how odd quantum mechanics is, not that the cat is actually both alive and dead. Not just that, Schrodinger came up with it to demonstrate how absurd and ridiculous the idea was. It was just that his peers thought it actually demonstrated their ideas quite well and started using it as a layman's explanation. Canon. I just saw a meme that said canon is just trailer park Scientology. I laughed. Scientology. L. Ron Hubbard's long game is strong. Being an edgelord whose entire personality trait is trolling and bullying other people. Fucking edgelords, man. I was definitely an edgelord at one point, but then I turned 15. Some people just never grow out of it. It's disappointing. I've got one person in mind specifically. We were good friends in high school and university. I even lived with him for a summer. His edgelordiness only got worse. Now he's a Trumper and just really not a fun person to hang out with. I hate it, because we used to be tight. But I just don't have the patience for that type of edgy, cynical, apathetic attitude anymore. The OK symbol being a white supremacist sign. Immediately pissing off scuba divers everywhere. The whole sigma, beta, alpha shit. Yep. Bugs the hell out of me every time I try to read a maths paper. School teachers telling us we won't have calculators in our pockets. Some nerds took that as a challenge. I wonder what teachers say instead of that these days. No Nut November. Pistachios, cashews, Brazil nuts. How could you possibly do No Nut November? Brain only using %10 of its ability. Deleted. MBTI. I mean, it didn't really start as a joke, I guess. It is a psychological model based on a psychologist. And don't take it wrong, I think it's fun and interesting to see which personality type I am myself, and it isn't a bad model, even though it doesn't fit the modern versions. But I think some people take it way too seriously, which bothers me, because I don't want people to put me in a category and think that is my whole personality. I'm an IMDb. I don't get along with anyone, but I know a lot about movies. Taco Bell giving anyone diarrhea. I frequent Taco Bell and never got diarrhea from it. What the hell are they eating? The Area 51 challenge. This is probably the best ever example. That was a wild event. Edit. I'm shocked at all the upvotes. You literally never know what kind of shit train sub you're commenting in and who's going to take offense to something trivial. How Palaniuk used snowflake ironically and now it's the conservative go-to. The meaning also completely changed. It originally referred to delusions of uniqueness. You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake, but now people use it to refer to fragility. Birds aren't real. You're not real, man. MSG is bad and vaccines cause autism. Deleted. Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Literally started as a joke, now it's the American way. And literally impossible. I always fall on my ass when I try. Gravity always bringing me down. Donald Trump running for president. Are the simpler days when it was all just one big joke and everyone assumed Jeb was going to win the primaries. Deleted. Tell me you're an old lady who hates young people's phrases with our weight. Comedy. Hating on Nickelback. Litter boxes in school bathrooms. Dogecoin. Flat Earth theory. Fish sticks. Come on man, just get it. I'm very much convinced Canon started off as a joke. It did. Reply All did a pretty solid episode on it. Anyone watching it when it started had to be blatantly aware of what it really was. It seems that group can be convinced of practically anything. https://podcast.apple.com/us/166-country-of-liars/ID 941907967 I10004917406444